From Wall Street to Main Street, this is Lalate.
It's a big day of early mornings LA with your fourth stimulus check update in 2021. Overnight, the world reacts as South Africa delivers the latest variant to COVID. And now, big concerns about getting this recon done sooner rather than later. The breaking news about what happened out of South Africa, what the president's reaction to the situation was, and what they're trying to do to get this under control right away. The breaking details this morning on Early Mornings Lalate and why it has an impact on your recon. We'll be turning over to the incredible provisions of this fourth stimulus recon direct from Santa Monica to California this early mornings Lalate, as we go over the big money that are in this recon. The House has passed the recon, it's off to the Senate, and the Senate is vowing to add more changes across the board to a recon that certainly has at least $15,000 of checks in there right now. There may be upwards of $45,000 of checks in there at least, if not $60,000. But third stimulus is paying out viewers right this week, right today, thousands of dollars, in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid right today. Student loan debt forgiveness, the latest on that. This stimulus, the latest on that. All those details and more, plus the breaking news about what's happening with the new South African variant. Those details in a big, bold, breaking news report this early morning's broadcast. I'm with you, I'm here, I'm ready to rock and roll because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the coffee's brewing. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this incredible money in this recon. And here we go as Early Mornings Lalate begins. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. And here we go. Recon passing the House of Representatives in the Senate, but now a sense of urgency to get it done rather faster than ever thought before because of the breaking news out of South Africa. New strains of the variant of COVID noticed in South Africa. All the latest details, the travel restrictions, the announcements from the president, the announcements for the EU, and also the impact on your financial bottom line today. This recon needs to get done quicker rather than later. And the great news is unfolding across the board, and it happened actually live on air yesterday. Did you miss it? In the highly watched Holidays LA midday show, one viewer got on the live chat and said she got Chuck Schumer's phone office on the phone before the Thanksgiving weekend, and they confirmed yet again he is having Bernie Sanders put in an MSC. This is big, and you're not hearing this anywhere else except this channel. This is on top of the checks that are already in that recon that pay about $15,000 and the big money available under third stimulus still available right today to pay your bills. And I'm going to go over the success story as viewers have gotten thousands of dollars of bills paid this week and how you can do the same. Then we're going to turn into student loan debt forgiveness and the latest about that can come by executive order. And then this stimulus right behind that as well. We have a big recording across the board. I'm excited for you to join me. And boy, here we go. It's a big, bold day with a lot of breaking news. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers to YouTube record. I want you part of the incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Mornings Countdown at 7 a.m. Then live on air, 9 a.m. Mornings LA. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and consider becoming a member. The president's having a major surprise that no one saw coming. And that surprise is a risk that you cannot gauge ahead of time. It is the new strain of the variant identified out of South Africa. I'll have the latest details on that coming up in a second, but first let's go over this incredible recon and the breaking news about MSC. This is breaking news this morning on Early Mornings LA. The recon so far has lots of checks in there that pay potentially more than 15,000, because when you get that calculator out, and I don't mean the Larry Kudlow calculator, the real one, you're going to see there's about $50,000 of checks in this recon before the senators get their hands on the modifications. Cluster number one, hazard pay got in there for that earned income tax credit. Elder care got that in there, $4,000 to care for older people, $4,000 to care for young children got in there as well. The CTC got in there, $3,600 approximately for one more year. The Pell Grant got in there, $550 check for my college students. The home repairs, if you live in a low-income community, free home repairs, they got those in there as well. And finally, they got in there the $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow, I have all those details coming up later in this video. Stay with me. I'm going to show you how to get this money. But the first add-on comes from Maxine Waters out of Los Angeles. The first add-on is free money for the purchase of your first home. She wanted $25,000. She got a little bit less, and this is incredible. And this money would be for when you buy your first home, coming to the federal government, to the seller. Wow. How do you get it? I'm going to show you in just a second. In the second cluster, we got in there home repairs, also paid leave, also a household tax credit, and the pre-kindergarten. The household, the home repairs this time are not for low income. They're for weatherize your home so that your home is retarded against fire and can sustain hurricanes or tornadoes, things like that. The second add-on comes from the illustrious Bob Casey, and that is $250 billion. No, got a little bit less for free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow, he got it in there. He wanted $250, but it's a little bit less. How do you get this? Stay with me. I'll explain to you later in this video, which brings us to our third cluster of checks, and there's so much in there. This is the cluster I called a deliciousness. What's in this third cluster? They got in there free school meals for all checks, prescriptions, tax breaks, immigration reform, farmers checks. Then they got in there the free internet. They got in there the workers checks like independent contractors, and then the Medicare expansion. Medicare expansion truly embodies what we're talking about when we look at MSC. Why? Because on the House side, they got two provisions in there, and the senators vowed to add three more. They got in there the hearing and the Medicaid gap fix on the House side, but the senators vowed to add in there dental, vision, and lowering the Medicare eligibility age, which brings us to MSC. MSC embodies that, which stands, and MSC stands for multiple IRS stimulus check. It embodies that because the senators say it's a good recon, but there's major gaps we need to fill up. And if you did not see the excitement on Holidays Live yesterday on air, our most watched episode of any show on this channel in several weeks, one viewer was on the live chat. And immediately when I saw her comment, I did something I never did before. I pinned it. What did she say? She said, I picked up the phone and I called Chuck Schumer, Majority Leader of the Senate, Democrat, before Thanksgiving weekend, spoke to his staff, advocated for the inclusion of the stimulus check, and was told that Chuck Schumer is aware that Bernie is adding in at least one or more checks to this recon. There you go. And she said, hey, folks, you need to advocate. You can't be sitting around and doing nothing but twiddling your thumbs. Absolutely. This is big news. We've been told the same thing over the last few weeks. So this is self-validation. We had Donnie and Donnie's wife, and I think her name was Lorraine, all being told the same thing by Chuck Schumer's office, who you must advocate to. Those 6 senators need to hear your phone call. The best thing to do is get them on the phone and talk to them. The second best thing is leaving a voice message. The least item thing is a tweet. So do the best of the 3 you can do, the best of the items, which is a phone call and talking to a staffer. Who are the people you're going to call? The 6 senators. Casey Coons, the 2 C's. Warren Wyden, the 2 W's. And Sanders Schumer. Advocate for that inclusion and also advocate for it right away. They want to hear from you because they have heard from 3 million of you on this channel, but they want to hear from 3 million more because guess what? It's now in the Senate. Now's the time. And with the urgency at hand to get this recon done, you want to get this advocacy done as well. They have in total between congressional senators' offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition, says the chief of staff to the number 1 legislator in the recon. Everyone's amazed by the outpouring of touching stories. They have a better understanding of what the people are going through. They have heartbreaking stories and the voice of the people in ULA as you have become too loud to be ignored. Please continue the continued advocacy as a professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. Amen. Now, you need to give yourself some time in the week as well to pick up the phone and advocate for your wallet. Because why? There's money available today to pay for your bills. It's called third stimulus. And the second half of this video, you're going to see the viewers who listened and this week got thousands of dollars from third stimulus. Some got $10,000 from third stimulus. The average viewer has gotten $45,000. And these people are people who got money before from this channel. They got money again. Some of these are new viewers to this channel. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid up in the second half of this video. We'll be turning back over to that incredible recon that passed. What are the percentage changes that come into the recon? What are the programs that may be upwards of $35,000 right now, if not $60,000? Student loan debt forgiveness, and then this stimulus. And the latest breaking news out of South Africa. Those details and more coming up after the commercial break. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Early Mornings Ally continues.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate.
And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings Lalate as the recon has passed the House of Representatives off to the Senate. And those Senate changes will give you lots of checks and potentially an MSC. Those programs so far may be much higher than $15,000. They may be upwards of $60,000. I'm going to show you where that money is. Third stimulus is still available, and you can get your bills paid today. I'm going to show you how thousands of viewers got their bills paid this week, and some got $10,000. Student loan debt forgiveness of $10,000 could be going by executive order next week. And then this stimulus coming up in January. What is it and how does it work? I have all those details, plus a look forward to the exciting new show coming to this channel, Calcino. Those details and more as a big Early Mornings LA continues. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want your proud, incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Coming up next is Mornings Countdown, and then live on air, 9 a.m. Early Mornings LA. And here we go. Really just a surprising change of events in just 24 hours ago. What was going on? 24 hours ago, I was telling you there was a sense of urgency by the president to get this recon done because of his falling poll ratings. Now he has another sense of urgency of why to get it done. The breaking news out of South Africa. The breaking news out of South Africa first detailed itself on this channel early Thursday morning, a Friday morning. And the details were the following: that they had identified in South Africa a new version of COVID that is far more potent than Delta and far more concerning than Delta, which has 2 mutations. This one has 10 mutations. Immediately on Mornings Lalate, I had told viewers that the country of England had announced a lockdown and a ban of travel to flights into the UK from 5 countries. Those were South Africa, being featured in the videos right now, Lesotho, Botswana, Nambia, Eswatini, and Zimbabwe. That was then. Then hours later, the President of the United States made the announcement he is doing the same thing, but with 7 countries. That included Botswana, Zimbabwe, Nambia, Lesotho, Botswana, Mozambique, and Malawi. Very interesting. And there is some non-overlap, meaning some countries are on one list, but not on the other list. In addition, the European Community Canada has also announced bans of travel as well. And this comes as Belgium identifies it has located someone in its country, in its shores, that has Omicron. The Omicron, the B11529 variant, is of concern and worrying characteristics, says the lead technician on COVID-19 at the WHO, Maria van Kerkhove. Why is this important for you? What does this mean for your recon? You know exactly what I'm about to say. They need to get the recon done very quickly because of the concern of what this virus potent poses. Not a health concern, at least, but at least an economic concern. If you're banning travel, you're going to have less travel. Less travel is less industry, less people employed, then less travel, less leisure, and then it can cause into other types of travel restrictions. Suddenly there's concerns that this economy may retract, and that's why you need the stimulus to go out and get it done right now. So let's go over this incredible recon that passed the House of Representatives and now in the Senate, and those checks that so far maybe pay upwards of $60,000, not $15,000. The first provision that got in there, this is incredible, we're going to cover, is that paid leave. It's a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $75,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks per year. Yes, that's $5,000 to $6,000 on the high end. It qualifies for a household even if you're not the person who works. Let's show an example. Let's say you live with your son and daughter, you're retired, but your son and daughter work, and they take off from work once a week to take you to the doctor. Well, the check's going to go to their name to take you to the doctor. Wow, it's incredible. Then they also got the SALT cap, raised it up, $10,000 cap under the Trump administration tax reform code of 2017. Now it'll be $72,500. They got $40 billion of free job training. Very big because so many Americans are quitting their jobs for another higher paying jobs. And a lot of seniors are thinking going back into the workplace because the jobs pay so much money right now. You'll be able to do that with some more job training. They got the Medicaid gap fix in there as well. A lot of people ask me about this. This is insurance. There's 12 Republican governor states where they refuse to pay for insurance or Obamacare, and now they have a workaround plan. Private insurance subsidized to low-income uninsured people in those states. Those are 12 workaround states, which brings us to housing assistance. Wow, this is the best provisions, incredible recon. 6 items that amount to $150 billion. The first 3 look familiar because they were in third stimulus. They are rent, utilities, and mortgage assistance. And the other 3 items right behind it are housing repairs, weatherize your home, and first-time home purchases. Wow. So get that pen and paper ready because guess what? You don't have to wait for fourth stimulus. It's available right now under third stimulus. Over 2 weeks ago, I told viewers third stimulus is coming back to this channel. And every day another person sends me a wonderful message on social media, private message me about their success story. If you have one as well, send it to me. And let's go over the success stories. These are viewers this week, yesterday, the day before, just now, thousands of dollars, in some cases even $10,000. And what are they? Mary Lou says, thank you. I got 3 months of rent at $900 a month. And then I got some utilities, 2 of them. I appreciate you so much. You're the best. I love Mary Lou's story. 1, she got expensive rent, $900 a month. So you shows you can get it. Then she got 3 items. Morale got 6 months of utilities. And I previously got 2 rounds before that. I love that. Morale has gotten 3 rounds of this item for this channel. That's how you do it. Jay Ground says, I've been struggling, but I got $5,000 for rent and utilities. And I speak for all of us. We love you, Lalate. I love you too, Jay Grant. So got 2 items. Good job, Jay Grant. Scarpy got Snap. Melissa got nearly $10,000 this week from rent and then 3 different utilities. That's how you do it. Chris, fascinating story. He had gotten money from this channel before. So what did he get? Well, previously he got $10,000 of rent for this channel. Now he got another $5,000 of rent plus utilities. We just got approved for more money. I really appreciate you, LA. Would never known about this in the process, so I started following you and listening to you and interacting with other viewers. Now get that bacon. And Sophia got some heating oil. So get that pen and paper ready. We're going to go over how you get these sums of money right now. First, you qualify: single, married, children, not with children, red states, blue states, disabled, not disabled, adult, young, head on bills, behind on bills. You qualify. Then I'm going to show you the 6 places you reach out to. But let's start with the items: their rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, and more. And it always surprises me that, in making this recording for now over a year and a half and getting millions of dollars in every single state, there's always someone who says, I was told there's different eligibility. And it's always someone who's not a member. It just sort of surprises me. And they were told by one person, you gotta really listen at this point of the recording. Listen very carefully, because this is where you're gonna get the money, or you're not gonna get the money if you're not taking the notes really carefully. So you wanna get the rent by reaching out to 6 places. First, let's look at the rent. The rent is a lot, and it's gone up even more. The rent on this channel was about $30,000 3 months ago. So how much has it gone up now? It's about $40,000 of rent. Let's look at the graphic. Here was 3 months ago. Now it's about $40,000. And where do you get the rent? You must reach out to the following 6 places: City Hall, City House Authority; County Hall, County House Authority; State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. You must reach out to all 6. Next, you must get applications on file everywhere. Number 3, you need to get multiple and consecutive rounds. So if you got a round earlier this year, get another round today. If you got a round yesterday from one organization, get another round today. Do the same thing with mortgage assistance. Next, utilities. Get that money for utilities. And boy, is it going up. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $15,000, but the CPI reveals heating oil is going up 49.1% year to date. So get that money. SNAP. If you got a third stimulus check, you should not be paying for food. Get on SNAP. You get it from the Department of Agriculture. Reach out to them and get that money, and boy, is it a lot. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, that is going to be $250,000. So get that money for SNAP from Department of Agriculture right now. Then get multiple items. Started with Nisi and Art Sullivan. They got 3, and they've inspired a whole generation. Now, Mark had 2 items at $32,000. I said, do what Nisi did. She got 3. Mark got 3 and then brought him to $50,000. But Mark continued to get more items, and that continued to make his numbers grow. He's now at $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105. She is now at 120. And with that, it brings us to Johnny. Johnny's a true inspiration story for 2 reasons. The first part of the story and the second part of the story. First, Johnny heard my video very clearly. He was one of 3 viewers who started the week with $0. By the middle of the week, he got $45,000 of 3 items paid out the door. But he heard me saying, don't stop at 3 items. So he didn't. And by the end of the week, he got 7 items approved. To get 7 items approved, he had to make 15 phone calls. And boy, he did. You remember that you're not going to get all yeses. You're going to get some no's. And get some no's, don't worry. 15 items called, 7 approved. How much money to get? $80,000 in 1 week. Wow, that's incredible. Then we turn to the second half of the story, and boy, it's even better. He turned to his family member and said, hey, I got some money last week. From what? Lalate, that YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, I seen him. How much you get? I got $80,000 from third stimulus. They said there's no third stimulus money. It's just a $14 stimulus check. I haven't heard about it anywhere else. He said they don't cover it. He covers it. LA covers it. It's in there. And I'll show you how. By the end of the week, those family members went from disbelievers to believers. And there you go. They each got those monies, $50,000 each, which is the true embodiment of where we are today. This channel is the number 3 financial news channel in America. The number 1 covers stocks. The number 2 covers the economy. Now, I cover geopolitical news, but I don't cover really that much about stocks, that much about economics. So if, for example, someone says to you, LA doesn't mention options trading or futures trading, it doesn't exist? Of course it exists. I just don't cover it. And if you watch broadcast media and they don't cover what Bernie or Chuck Schumer's office said about it, MSC, doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means they don't cover it. They don't cover any of these provisions. They don't cover the Maxine Waters money or the Bob Casey money. They don't cover any of these provisions. They barely even cover the recon was passed. So that is where we are as we jump back into 4 stimulus provisions with the housing aid. The other 3 are the low-income housing repairs, the weatherizing your home, and the first-time home purchase. Wow, there we go. These are really good items, and they can get them done and absolutely should get them done. Now, let's turn back into the other provisions in that incredible 4 stimulus recon. They got $150 billion of care for elderly and people on disabilities for the home health care. They got in there the $40 billion of free job training, very big and helpful. They got in there $550 checks for the college student, the Pell Grant. And then they got $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle. Wow, this is a biggie. What's going on here? Over the last few years, if you went to a dealership for an electric car, you would have seen a sticker that said minus $7,500 if you do a federal rebate, meaning you buy the car full price, you do a tax return, then you ask the $7,500 back, and then you get it back. Well, the difference is that this is going to give you the money right at the time of purchase. Oh my goodness. So let's say you're in the dealership, you're looking at the electric vehicle. It says $30,000. The federal government will give $12,500 right to the seller, the dealership, at the time of purchase. So you won't pay $30,000, you'll pay $30,000 minus $12,500. One of the provisions in here needs to get changed though, and it's the U.S. soil. The problem is that only 3 cars qualify under this provision. That's not the way you want to do a provision. At issue is that they want a U.S. manufacturer, okay, Ford, made in a U.S. plant, yeah, Ford plant, and with unionized workers, yes, Ford unionized workers, and make an electric car. Okay, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, but the plant must be located in the U.S. territories. Wait a second. That is a bad error because it violates U.S. trade embargo policies that says you cannot favor one item over another sold in Mexico, Canada, the United States. Here's an example. This language would favor you to buy the Cadillac Lyric made in Tennessee over the Ford Mustang made in Mexico. Can't do it. They got in there $65 a check per month for the student when not in school, which brings us to the incredible provision of this recon, which is the lowering the prices of Medicare medication. They're going to do cheaper diabetes, arthritis, cancer, the most expensive medications like Medicare Part B and Part D right out the door. Start with 20 medications in year 20 right out the door in 2021, and then grow to 30 medications by 2028. They cannot increase more than the rate of inflation. If they do, they are a violation of the Senate parliamentarian rules, says the senator at issue, Pat Toomey. And I think he's right. The Senate parliamentarian is going to rule on that provision. She's also going to rule on whether you can put immigration reform in there. I don't think you can. She purely said no. And also whether you can put in a recon the items of paid leave, which brings us then to those missing items. The same 6 senators who represent, they want to do an MSC, also represent, there's a major gaps of items missing for this recon. Best bill since the 1960s, but major gaps in there, says Bernie. So says Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, and Schumer. And with that, what are those items and what do you need to know? Get that pen and paper ready because we're going to go over some more checks in this recon. Check number 1 is universal pre-K, front-end check, child care, back-end check, enhanced child tax credit, front-end check, and then earned income tax credit, back-end check. And then they got home health care, covered benefits, and then the hearing aid, maybe a check for that. We already went over the housing, and we went over the Pell Grant and the nutrition. So what else does Bernie want to add to this recon? You look at this graphic, 15,000. It's undervalued in this situation. It's likely 50 to 60,000 already out the door before senators come in and make their changes. And what do they want to add in there? Well, Bernie wants to add in, additionally to that MSC, 3 other provisions. First, he wants to put in lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, then dental, then vision. Let's go over each of them one at a time. First, he wants to put in that provision that would basically say you can lower the eligibility age of Medicare from 65 to 55. Bob Casey wants to 60. Then the president says, then Bernie wants to get in there dental. He wanted 10 years of full benefits, not going to happen. Then he was agreeing to do 3 years of full benefits. I think that works. Last off on the table was a surprising $850 check. I don't think that cuts it. Doesn't pay for a procedure at all. We're going to see the battleground over this in the Senate. Then we're going to also see the battleground over in the Senate vision. I examine a pair of frames per year. Very simple, not so much with frame wars. But there you go. Those are some of the programs. And as we see how this economy changes very quickly, we're going to see which of these checks stay in there, which go out. Let's jump over to student loan debt forgiveness by executive order. The president can do it by executive order and forgive that student loan debt. Boy, really good. And that student loan debt is something that the Democrats should take. Would not preclude them from asking for more money later after. They previously saw the president forgave student loan debts for people who became disabled, volunteers 10 years after graduation, or work in the nonprofit sector 10 years after graduation. Fifth stimulus, wow. Fifth stimulus is heating up in the month of January. It raises your benefits up one big time and applies a new benchmark. And that new benchmark is inflation. Why? What's going on here? So what they're looking at with this fifth stimulus is the following. Your COLA raise of 5.9% starting January 1 is not enough because your benefits have been undervalued pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic. So what they want to do is raise your benefits up, then apply a new benchmark, then remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Love is going to win like Rob and Sandy, and you no longer fear loss of benefits. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is under the video. And get that newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the YouTube alert system and the Lalate alert system. You want to get that newsletter because it features the 6 places you reach out to, the keywords you say, the 5 nonprofits. It also features what to know about that Treasury allocation of money that went out for housing. It's important to read the newsletter because the newsletter comprises everything that's covered in this video, but also in a nice organized way. And needless to say, every single day, I still sporadically see someone in the chat that says, I called one place, they said, I don't qualify for anything. I don't know what to do. You know what to do because you didn't watch the video. I specifically say, don't call one place only. You must call 6 places. And needless to say, every single day, there's someone says in the live chat, I called one place and I gave up. I can't help that. I can't make that person listen to a video. And I think their dedication on listening to a video is about as dedicated as their effort to call more than one place for rent. And there you go. Yesterday, we saw the impact of pushing as a family. And that pushing of a family started with that viewer in the noontime up broadcast. And Chuck Schumer says he wants to put it in there still. He still wants to put in that 4th stimulus check or have Bernie put it in for the Senate. So we're going to be watching that as soon as it happens. Meantime, if you missed the debut of Holidays Lalate on this channel yesterday, you missed a lot. It actually 3 days ago, it debuted its 3rd episode yesterday and was, of course, that big blockbuster. Here again is what happens on Holidays Lalate. And the excitement continues today and always on this channel at 11 a.m. A new live noontime, holidays Lalate in the noontime time slot every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and repeating on the weekends also at 11 a.m. Join me with your comments and questions. And if you watched it on replay, send me a private message on social media about what you do for the holiday seasons. Meantime, if you have success stories for rent, utilities, or food or internet, send me those messages as well. I'll feature them throughout the day across the board. Meantime, if you miss the excitement, if you miss the real big excitement of a cow, a scarf-loving person, and a rib-eating call center operator, then you missed it. But no worries, because it's coming to this channel. The debut of Cowsino. Here again is that incredible trailer that everyone is talking about the new show coming to this channel, Cowsino. And here is the trailer for Cowsino. Hit that subscribe button right now. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day. And stay here, stay with me, and stay with Lalate for more. And join me next on Countdown and then live on air with 9 a.m. mornings Lalate.